I have a big problem. Source told me that my vortex is so full of things that I can't put nothing more there and it to manifest everything. It's a big problem, you know? The source told Abraham is going to help.
We don't know who your source is, but we'd get rid of that one.
Okay.
That sounds more like your mother. It's quite enough, you greedy little bugger. You must not ask for more.
Yeah. Basically, you know, the universe responds to your feelings, you know?
The universe does not respond to your feelings. Nothing responds to your feelings. Your feelings are your indication of your vibration. Your vibration is what the law of attraction is responding to. Everything is responding to your vibration. Your emotions are your indicator of how you fit in this with the way Source is looking at it. Think about the way we began this morning. You've asked for many things, and your inner being stands in your vortex. And because your inner being is non-resistant in thought, then just try to imagine for a moment what the power of that attraction must be. Oh, so this powerful attraction gathering all of these cooperative components, if you're not in sync with that, then you feel that resistance. That's what negative emotion is. It's you not lining up with your inner being who is lined up with all that you have become. Do you understand the concept that when you launch a rocket, that when you live some life and you ask for more, that vibrationally speaking, you've moved past where you stand in terms of your manifestation? This is an important thing to understand. There's you standing in the middle of your manifestations. That's you. And if standing in the middle of your manifestations and looking around at your manifestations is the only reason that you offer a vibration, then you are really stuck in what you want to call now manifestations. And when you are stuck in what you are calling now manifestations, we call you stuck in the past. Because who you really are, the present, is this vibrational reality that is where all the action is. It's where all the movement is. It's where all the attraction is. But if you're so busy looking around at what is, and your vibration is consumed by your awareness of what is, then you're not letting yourself move toward all of this that you have already become vibrationally. You got to get the concept that there's the vibration and then there's the manifestation. We are talking about vibrations turning to thoughts, and thoughts turning to words, and words turning to impulses, and impulses turning to things. And humans, for the most part, just want to talk about the things, what's already manifest. Well, that's old news. That's old news, and it's a waste of current vibrational vitality, and it's not where your inner being is. You know the biggest difference between your inner being, the non-physical source of you, and you? Your inner being never looks back. And do you know what back is? Now is back in relationship to the way your inner being sees things. The money in your bank account is irrelevant. The vibrational reality is where your inner being is focused. But there are so many realists in the world that want to say, oh, that's just crazy talk. And we say, well, then you'll be stuck in what is, just regurgitating different places, different faces, but same experience over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. There is one time on my life where I did many out-of-the-body experiences, okay? I was capable to talk to people that passed away. I was capable to see my body on the bed, things like this. One thing that you say is that when you croak, we get to the source and you receive, we know everything that we are. But the thing is...
But you don't have to have a death experience
no, you don't
in order
have,
to do
you don't
that.
Have, you don't
Meditate.
Have. But the thing is, the reality that I saw is different than this. I mean, I didn't see everybody knowing everything about themselves, so everybody is like in a high level of the development, you know? I see different conscience there, not the same, not like a high level. I mean, I know that we got more than one.
Well, we wouldn't spend any time taking a snapshot in time. In other words, what you saw was what you were allowing yourself to be given the mix of vibrations that you had going on at that time. Period.
Okay. Doesn't mean that it stays the same right now, it changes.
Never-endingly. This is a never-ending state of becoming. That would be like saying, what you just said to us was not different than saying, one time I drove down a street and I saw a garbage can tipped over.
No, I understand that things may not be the same, but my point is...
What is your question?
My question
Stop
is...
for just a moment and consider this. Consider that you have an active vibration going on here. You have a window into all that is. You are speaking with those who are in cahoots with infinite intelligence. In other words, we're all hooked to that. So what would be the most meaningful thing that you could know as a result of this relationship that's happening right now? You want to go back and regurgitate something that you saw a long time ago?
No, I understand. Yeah, no, this is not really important. But my point is, for example, we are evolving, okay? Abraham knows everything about everything.
But we don't focus on everything about everything, because if you're focused on everything, you're focused on nothing. Pick something.
Okay.
You see what we're getting at?
Based on your view from myself, what's the advice that you may give me based on what you see from me?
Oh, now that's the coward's way out of this. We want to know what you want to know, and you say, Abraham, tell me what I want to know.
Because you have a different view from us here than we have. You know exactly where I am standing from what you want.
We'll speak that to you clearly. If we were standing in your physical shoes, knowing what we know about all of you, not just the you that's in your physical shoes, but the you who from your physical shoes has created a magnificent vortex, a whole new stream of never-ending becoming. If we were standing in your physical shoes, our question would be, how can I move in the direction of what I have become? We wouldn't be saying, what is it that I've become? Because we would understand. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would understand, because it's us standing in your physical shoes, we would understand that you could not possibly contemplate everything that you put into your vortex. So our question would be, what is my path of least resistance for the most joyous motion forward that I can experience? Because then you would be understanding that it's not about getting anywhere, it's about enjoying the process of movement toward. It's not about the accomplishment of something. It's about remembering who I am. It's about remembering how blessed I am. It's about taking in the beauty of the environment. Esther, before she took her walk yesterday, she was doing her segment in Tending. And she always writes things that include feelings. And so she wrote, I love the feeling of this sweet California air on my face, in my mouth, and in my lungs. I love smelling and feeling and eating this air. And then she said, I love meeting and knowing all these little critters who live on this loop, who often don't show themselves to me, but I know they're there. I love the butterflies and the birds and the critters and the bunnies and the cats and the dogs and the babies in the strollers. In other words, she was activating and salivating over her co-creators that she knew were going to be out here on this loop with her this day. She wrote more about other things, but as she's walking the loop, right away, the fragrance in the air was uniquely not fragrant in the sense that it was flowers. It was fragrant in the sense that there was enough moisture in the air that she could smell the ocean in it. And so she just sort of took it in. She felt her entire body rising to the deliciousness of that like never before. And she knew for sure it was because she got out ahead of it and got herself prepared to recognize it when it met her. It's been meeting her every morning, but she was there to recognize it. It's the recognition of what's happening. And then butterflies and hummingbirds and all manner of critters are surrounding her, not more abundant than usual, but more poignant than usual, showing up just at interesting places and interesting timing and communicating with her, reveling in the beauty of this day. And so then she ended her walk and she walked into this main gate, into a courtyard. And in this courtyard, she has a stream that's man-made, but it's really beautiful and has so much volume to it and sound to it. And she walked into the courtyard. An owl was drinking from the water in the daytime. And he looked at her, and she looked at him, and he looked at her, and she looked at him, and then off he went into the sky like nothing Esther has ever seen before. Now she knows, she's known that owl was there for years. She can hear him at night. She hears him. She's not ever seen him before, until she took an opportunity to get out ahead of it with her writing and to isolate within herself the feeling of these creatures who are sharing the loop with her, who are vibrational matches in their love of this succulent, delicious physical life experience that she is living. She activated within herself the way this owl feels about life, and he had to come to greet her. You see what we're talking about? The law of attraction had to put them together. This was not a fluke. This was not what humans want to call just a chance meeting. This was an absolute attraction based upon, now, did Esther say, as she wrote, today I will meet an owl and I will be happy? No, she didn't write anything like that. She wrote in general terms how she wanted to feel. She's leaving it to the universe to pick from what matters in her vortex. Now, if you know Esther, there's some books out on the table, some Sarah books, The Amazing Travails of the Giant Owl on Thacker's Trail. Owls are really, 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 really meaningful to Esther because she has such a sincere relationship with Solomon. She just doesn't see them every day. They're not running around, and she was not asking the universe to bring her an owl. She was asking the universe to acknowledge her joy. She was not reaching to be joyful. She was joyful in her writing. She didn't write to be joyful. She wrote because she is joyful. Can you feel the difference? This segment intending is about how I feel now. I feel loved. I feel blessed. I feel sure. I feel eager. I feel happy. I feel whole. I feel vibrant and alive. Can you feel what that's doing? It's activating her vibrational point of attraction. And then as she takes that feeling person, that person who feels like this, and she moves around her lovely loop, then anything that is a vibrational match to how she feels must show itself to her. It's co-creation at its best, you see. You have to accept that it's a beautiful world that you live in, and you have to calibrate yourself to the beauty of the world. You have to accept that you are a blessed being, and you have to calibrate yourself to that blessed being that you are. You have to accept that you're intelligent and wise and adored and whole, and practice the vibration of that until everything that comes back to you reflects that to you, you see. So when you are the deliberate creator of your own experience, what you really are is the deliberate confirmer and practicer of the core vibration of that which you are. Now, Esther's been moving around life. She's been feeling pretty much that way for a long time, and life's been very, very good to her. But it is, so much more satisfying when she identifies something, as we're wanting to get you to do, identifies something, activates it in her vibration, savors it, writes words around it, sits and contemplates how those words feel, calibrating, and then deliberately moves out in the world so that the world can show her that it heard her calibration, that it honors her calibration, that it recognizes her calibration, that it is responding to her calibration. You are the creator of your own reality because you are the calibrator of your own vibration. You just got to accept that you are and do something about it. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.